Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Nicole. Welcome to the DAC Dyslexia and Coffee podcast. We're so happy you could join us. We're both moms and dyslexia interventionists who want to talk about our students and children. What dyslexia is, how it affects our kids, strategies to help, and topics related to other learning disabilities will also be covered in this podcast. Parents are not alone, and we want to give voice to the concerns and struggles we are all having. This is a safe place to learn more about how to help our children grow and succeed in school and the world. Grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the conversation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 74 of Dyslexia and Coffee. I love that. I love saying that. It feels like so cool. We're going to start today's episode like we do every episode with the concept of the week. So the concept of the week is our opportunity as practitioners to kind of peel back the curtain and let everyone into an intervention session. So we like to talk about things either we would teach directly to our students and or to the parents that we support. So today's concept of the week is sleep hygiene. I feel like there is a lot of information out there about sleep hygiene right now. It feels like a really big topic. But sleep hygiene is a set of healthy habits, behaviors, and environmental practices that design and promote consistent quality sleep. Yes, something to aspire to, indeed.
Indeed. So guess what episode 74 is? It's all about dyslexia and sleep.
Yeah. Fascinating.
It is very fascinating.
Yes.
So, very interestingly, dyslexia and sleep issues are closely linked. So, individuals with dyslexia have more sleep disturbances, like insomnia, which can obviously impact their learning and cognitive ability, possibly due to anxiety or their unique brain activity patterns that students with dyslexia have. So during sleep, it is also where, your memory is also impacted, right? Because that's where your memory kind of develops.
Right.
So this creates kind of a cycle, right? Reading is exhausting, so then you get word fatigue, right? Which leads to tiredness. And then sleep problems can hinder that. And then it hinders also language learning, which is already a dyslexia challenge, which makes good sleep hygiene and medical attention that impacts anxiety something that needs to be addressed with any student with dyslexia.
I think this is so fascinating because the study that you found, really, that a lot of this episode was based on, I read a lot about learning disabilities, specifically dyslexia, but also, ADHD, anxiety, all of those kind of disorders that really govern the students that we work with primarily.
Exactly.
And this was really the first time that I had really looked at. I had seen a study call out specifically dyslexia and its interaction with sleep. I mean, surprise is not the right word, but also really interesting that actually they really are going so far. And this was a really large study. It was not a small...
and there's actually been other studies too.
Yeah. It's just interesting how, so people at kind of high risk of sleep disorders, people with dyslexia have a greater chance of having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, which is insomnia.
Yeah.
That does lead to that cognitive impact.
Right.
Our brains don't function on poor sleep. So it makes the dyslexia symptoms worse, right? It can impact attention, the memory overall, our ability to learn.
Right. And then, exhaustion increases word fatigue, and it also, decoding words is hard work for students with dyslexia. And so, leading to daytime fatigue. So that's when they start yawning. You find their concentration having a problem. It's not always that they're just, I know in the study it's called it laziness, but it's not, right?
No, it's not laziness. It's not. But I think it gets called that sometimes.
Because they don't understand that the sleep and how difficult the brain is working.
Yeah.
The brain is working really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's what I say to my students all the time. It's hard because it is hard.
Yes.
Yeah. This feels hard because it is hard. You're not you're not crazy. You're not broken. This is hard because this is hard. Your brain is working really hard, and if it's not sleeping, and you're going into your day at a deficit,
right? And now you're working really hard.
You're going
to be tired.
You're going to be tired. And at a certain point, your brain and body is going to say, stop. And it's going to shut the whole thing down. There's that anxiety link, right? High anxiety is so common with learning disabilities. It can fuel the insomnia, creating that cycle where anxiety disrupts sleeps, and that lack of sleep
also increases anxiety.
Round and round we go.
That big cycle.
That's that anxiety depression cycle, right? That's in sleep. And it's insidious because one just feeds
the other. They also found in the study that atypical sleep patterns, like longer slow wave sleep and more sleep spindles, which is what is crucial for language learning, is less effective in a dyslexia individual.
So, the way someone is sleeping. So they talk about, right, when you're sleeping, there are certain brain waves that can be tracked in sleep. And they're saying even while these individuals are sleeping, the pattern of their sleep is not good for their grades to make meaning of information. You're not getting that good REM cycle in there.
And then in 2016, the research showed that in that study, 66% of the subjects with dyslexia had sleep issues, which is a significant amount.
That is a significant amount. And again, not a small study. This was not a, oh my gosh, blanking on the words. The amount of people who were studied in this study was large.
Yes.
The group size was large here.
And then there was another study done last year, June of 2025, and that was looking at sleep characteristics and anxiety symptoms in students with dyslexia. And they found the same thing, right? They had delayed onset, which as a mom, I can tell you every night.
Oh my gosh.
It's always the same thing. And they sleep shorter durations, which I can also tell as a mom. My study of 2.
Right.
This is something that is very common for us in our house. And that was not determined on their anxiety scores. That was just based on their diagnosis of dyslexia.
Their dyslexia, which is it's different than some of the other ones that have come before, because they actually did piece that apart. So they actually did call out that, yes, actually, these were the kids with the dyslexia diagnosis. Some of them had anxiety diagnoses and ADHD diagnosis, but not all of them.
Correct.
So they really are kind of for the first time going as far. Like previous studies haven't pieced it apart that way.
Right.
Where this one did. So like they are really saying, no, actually like the dyslexia pattern is impacting before we layer on all the complexities that come along with that diagnosis.
And they only found, in this study, it was a little bit different. It was a little smaller of a study, but they found that 8% of typical developing teen children had sleep issues. And in this study, it was 44% of students with dyslexia had something, they called it disorders relating to sleep, but
disorders in initiating and maintaining sleep.
It's a subscale.
Yeah.
It's like a diagnosis.
Yeah,
thing.
like it's a category of things that could be going on that would impact initiating going to sleep and then staying asleep.
Yes. So, I mean, that's a significant rate. 44%. I mean, that's a huge
right. So in their typical developers, 8.3% would fall into that category, but in our children with dyslexia, 44.2%. That is
spread.
a big spread and a huge discrepancy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Really, it's interesting, and it really lines up with a lot of the anecdotal evidence.
Yes.
That we have. I kind of feel like, honestly, this feels kind of validating as a special ed teacher who has had these conversations with both children and their parents.
Right.
For more years than I care to share now at this point.
Right. Now there's evidence to be like, yeah.
Now there's evidence to say,
true.
Actually, yes, this is true.
Yes. What you're seeing is not.
What you are seeing is not. It's real. You're not making this up. Kids with these learning disabilities, and I'm using broad strokes here,
right,
actually do struggle with sleep, which, yes, exasperates the disability itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, they also showed in another study that students with other learning difficulties also had sleep disturbances. That one was a smaller study that we saw. So 24% had it, but it's kind of hard to say because you can't really compare that apples to apples with the size.
Yes, that's what's hard about the little smaller ones. That's why I think the smaller, more smaller population size studies, I think are still really interesting and valuable to read because they get into minutia, right?
Right.
Where those bigger population studies, they allow us to draw larger conclusions and kind of have a little bit more like valid results. But I think they both each have their place. Because I think I find those kind of smaller, intricate studies, even a case study, right, is very interesting. Does that mean we can extrapolate and like broad strokes apply things to everybody? No, we
that's
can't.
what those bigger studies help you
That's
with.
what those bigger studies help with, but at least we can get some context for like what could be going on. And I think sometimes those are the ones that I find myself going like, oh my God, that's my kid. Or, oh, that was me as a kid. Or, oh my gosh, those are the ones where those names of either current or past students, like,
there they are,
pop into my mind. And I'm like, that was exactly what was going on for that kid. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
But I think, again, anecdotally, this has been things I've been hearing for years.
Right.
And have experienced in my own house.
Exactly.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unless they come over to my house. Then apparently they sleep off.
Hey, you. Solved it.
There we go.
We live with Nicole now. Done. Okay.
Then Nicole's gonna.
Nicole's like, oh my God, I quit.
Sleep deprivation.
So, like, how do we help our kids, right? I mean, all this information is good information, but, like, how do we even begin to help our kids with this? Like, is this fixable?
Well, I mean, there's definitely different things that you can do to help your child get better sleep. First, unfortunately, good sleep habits, what you started off with sleep hygiene, is actually something that you need to kind of become a habit with, right?
Yes.
It has to be something that you do every night, like a regular bedtime, regular study hours. And even if they want to stay up late, it's important for them to have the same bedtime.
Yep. Excuse me. Yep. I know. We're doing an episode on sleep, and I feel like I'm losing
it's making
my...
me so tired.
It's making me so tired.
But then, right, they need to be refreshed in the morning. So, limiting screen time, I know that's really hard for a lot of us because right now, especially in this day and age, screens are everywhere.
They are.
They say 1 hour before bedtime, you shouldn't be in front of a screen.
At all.
At all.
Any screens. Including television screens.
Yes, but is that realistic for most families? I don't know.
And also, I mean, that's a decision you have to make in your family. I think when you look at the prioritization of sleep and how critical it is to actually functioning, just had this conversation with my 8-year-old last night. Not really about screens. He knows I'm kind of tyrannical about it. That's our listeners won't be surprised that, I'm okay being the enemy on the screen time. But, just having his light on in the bedroom. No, turn it off. Yeah, you're so mean. I just want to play with my cars. No, I know how critical it is for you to get the sleep you need. And that's one of the, I'm not gonna waver on it.
Right.
Because of its importance to your overall health and wellness.
Right.
Yeah.
Putting those screens away is a good thing. So, when I think about the light, though, I have a lot of anxiety. Sometimes the light is not a bad thing. Having a night light. My kids need night lights or they would never go to sleep.
Yeah. And I think, that's the part, too, where knowing as a parent when it's important to get other professionals involved.
Correct.
Because with either a pediatrician's guidance and or someone who specializes in anxiety and sleep, it's important to actually consult that person because they are going to tell you different things based on what is actually going on for your kid.
Right.
Having, we made the grievous mistake. I think I've actually talked about it on the podcast before. Last Christmas, a certain magical being who comes into our home once a year gifted a projector light, and it was really cool. And my son was really, really into it. And it was probably February. This kid is not okay. Something is not going on. And what it was is those lights were so distracting. My son does have ADHD, and light at night is not good. It's not good. It does not allow the brain to do what it needs to do. And it took really forever to figure out, oh my gosh, that was the thing. And I'm not saying we're we're on the other side and he sleeps so great now. No, not even close. Not even close. But eliminating that one thing helped significantly change the way his brain was functioning, and therefore the way all of our lives were functioning. So sometimes it is a simple, not fix. I don't want to use the word fix because that's not it. We're not fixed. But sometimes it is something simple, and sometimes it is a lot more complicated.
Right.
Sometimes it's a lot of intentional steps.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, like the same thing as the calm environment, right? The bedroom's cool, dark, and quiet.
Yeah.
That's not what happens in our house, but that's okay. All three of my kids need to listen to music, which is interesting. And at first we were against it, but honestly, they sleep better with them on than they do without them.
It's like
every child's different.
Every child's different, and I think you have to evaluate what's working now, because what's working now may not be the thing that works in a couple of years from now.
I think they would hear a noise and that would wake them up all night long. And so the music being on consistently helps them not hear that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just been very interesting having to go to the other, like we did the quiet and the dark, and that didn't work for us. So we had to go a different way, but that's...
Both my kids do have a sound machine for that reason. That it's, they hear the furnace turn on and they're like, ah!
Yeah, that's that insomnia part, right? Where you can't stay asleep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing is good nutrition and exercise. Regular physical activity, which is not a problem for our children. I don't think in either one of our houses. No. A good diet. Most of our kids have good diets. I would say my oldest, it's kind of the exception, but and then the whole thing on caffeine, which as adults we went ha 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 ha. But children shouldn't have a lot of caffeine before bed.
They really shouldn't. And listen, adults shouldn't either. As much as I'm drinking my coffee right now, I host a podcast called Dyslexia and Coffee. I think we all know I have caffeine problems. But also, no, it's not good. It does disrupt your sleep.
It does. It also does other stuff.
Yes.
But when you have children, I don't know how else to do it.
Right. What else am I supposed to do?
Especially when you have children with sleep problems.
Right. I have to get through my day somehow. Well, and I think that's the thing, right?
Right.
And also, if you have a child with ADHD, the likelihood that either you yourself have ADHD, dyslexia, right? Same situation. The likelihood that either you have or your spouse has is very high. And if you think we outgrow sleep issues as adults, no,
that's not a thing.
No, definitely not. So definitely, when more than one family member is struggling with sleep, the way our family functions can get a little funky.
Also medications, right? A lot of our kids with ADHD are on stimulants, which is like a caffeine, right? Caffeine is a stimulant. So time of day or the dosage might need to be adjusted to help with sleep. And that's something you would have to talk to your doctor about.
Yes.
But if there's, usually what they do is they have you do a sleep diary, and you show when you take medicines, and then you show how many times they've been up, and you know how many diaries I've had to make.
Oh my gosh,
it's just a lot.
So many.
Whenever my doctor says, "Why don't you just do a diary?" My brain goes, "No!"
I know. It's, and how else are they gonna know? They can't make it, But also,
I understand why they have to do it, but do they realize how many times I've had to do them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So there's that. And then there are sleep specialists that are certified to help diagnose the sleep disorder and then have a treatment. So, I mean, going to those specialists is important too if you can't get through it.
And bottom line, if this is something truly impacting your child, yourself, it's important to consult those specialists. They exist. They are out there. Mm-hmm. The information can be found. I will say this is one of those topics that I think because it is so relevant right now, there is a lot of articles out there. Unfortunately, that's a recipe for some mis and disinformation as well.
Yes.
This would not be a topic I think social media is good for.
No. I would definitely call your doctor.
I have seen some really terrible advice out there.
Yes.
Like, don't give your kid a bedtime at all. They'll fall asleep whenever they let them just crash wherever. That's going to be really good.
My kids would never go to sleep then. I'm not even kidding.
And unfortunately, there are the one-off, not good medical professionals that are actually putting things out there like that. Like that actually was co-signed by a medical professional. Yikes. No. No, don't do that. That's a really clearly bad idea. But I think this is one of those things that actually go to a person who does know what they're talking about here, because it really is as important as it is purporting to be.
Right.
Getting actually good rest and regenerating your brain and your body is actually that important.
Correct.
And does deserve its due attention.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
that comes into our next topic of therapy, right? Sometimes older children or adolescents may need cognitive behavioral therapy to help them overcome these issues. Sometimes, depending on what the diagnosis for the sleep issue is, you might need a special medicine. Or if you have sleep apnea, kids can get that.
Yep.
And believe me, they keep asking.
Yeah.
Especially if you have somebody in your family that has it. Mm-hmm. It's more common, obviously, to have it again as a child. So making sure that those things are also impacting, right? Those
absolutely.
Medical conditions that you need to have something to intervene in.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. It is truly falls into a medical professional's purview.
Correct.
So if this is something that you're really struggling with in your house, consult those medical professionals. This is the time to do that. This isn't the go it alone train.
No.
Not good.
Well, Maggie, what's happening outside of dyslexia?
Oh my goodness. All the things. Speaking of medical professionals, I'm excited tomorrow. Nicole and I and one of our other colleagues are going to do some education for some medical professionals. So
yes.
we get to go to their office and bring them lunch and educate about dyslexia and how we assess for dyslexia. So I'm excited for that presentation. This is we do these educational endeavors a lot, but this one is kind of one we were sought out to do, which feels fun. So I'm excited about that. What's going on for you, Nicole?
Yeah. Well, it's basketball season. So our oldest has been playing since 4th grade, and now our youngest is in 4th grade. So they both have 4, 5, 6 games this week. I don't even know. I can't even keep track.
No, thank you. Off that train.
I love it. But it was really funny last night because we thought the game was at one place and it was at a different place because they didn't spell it out. They just did the abbreviation of the school.
Oh, no.
So, there's a lot of abbreviations that equal places.
Yeah.
So my husband ended up having to call people multiple times because everybody was at the game.
Of course.
He's like, where are you?
Oh my
And
god.
the thing, he was just so funny because he's like, yeah, I just told them maybe I don't really care who they're playing. Just tell me where to go.
Where to go. Please tell me where to go.
So that was kind of a very interesting
Oh,
trying to figure out where
where
supposed to
am
actually be
I
at.
supposed to be? Oh my god.
Yeah. So we got there a little bit after the. There's that.
We got there.
We
I'm
got
just gonna
there.
piece that out. We got there. Done. Did the thing.
We did the thing.
Listen, I think parenthood, I would personally like a participation ribbon. I'm just going to say that. All right.
Yep.
Like, yes, please. I did participate. I did show up.
Yes.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Please follow us on social media and reach out if you have questions or you would like us to discuss a topic. If you do like our show, please give us a rating on your favorite podcast player. This is how we reach more listeners and we get to help more things. Thank you.
Thank you.